The 90-minute focus strategy, sharpening concentration. At 8 a.m., Jacob, a 32-year-old freelance designer, prepares his morning coffee and settles at his workspace. Rather than diving into emails or social media, he initiates a 90-minute timer and immerses himself in his most cognitively demanding task, eliminating all distractions. This approach aligns with our brain's natural 90-minute cycles, known as ultradian rhythms, during which we reach optimal levels of alertness, creativity, and focus. High achievers, be it chess grandmasters, Olympic athletes, or top scholars, often utilize this rhythm. Instead of enduring 6 consecutive hours of work and feeling drained, Jacob segments his work into 90-minute intervals, each followed by a 15-minute break. Consequently, by midday, he accomplishes more than he previously did in an entire day, with his mind operating at peak efficiency. Morning walk, a moving meditation post. His initial 90-minute work session, Jacob steps outside for a 20-minute walk without headphones. This activity activates the brain's default mode network, a state conducive to creative thinking and idea generation. Walking, especially in natural settings, enhances blood circulation to the brain, lowers stress hormones, and even enlarges the hippocampus, the brain's memory hub. Essentially, a brief walk serves as a rejuvenating massage for the mind, brain-nourishing nutrition. At noon, Jacob opts for a meal that fuels his brain: omega-3 rich salmon, antioxidant-packed blueberries, and a piece of dark chocolate to enhance cerebral blood flow. More crucially, he practices mindful eating, eschewing screens and focusing solely on his meal. This habit improves digestion, reduces cortisol levels, and reinforces the brain's ability to reset for the afternoon. Digital detox, reclaiming focus. Around 3 p.m., Jacob disconnects from digital devices. No phone, social media, or notifications. Each alert triggers a dopamine release, which in excess leads to diminished focus and increased cravings. By establishing tech-free periods, Jacob retrains his brain to appreciate stillness, fostering deep thinking, problem-solving, and long-term memory consolidation. Evening curiosity, feeding the mind. Instead of unwinding with television at 5 p.m., Jacob engages with content that piques his interest, be it a documentary, podcast, or an intriguing article. Curiosity activates the brain's reward system, enhancing memory retention and promoting mental agility. This practice keeps his mind flexible and youthful. Cold showers, boosting mental resilience. At 6:30 p.m., Jacob takes a cold shower. Though initially uncomfortable, this practice stimulates the release of norepinephrine, improving alertness, attention, and mood. Cold exposure also builds resilience, training the brain to handle discomfort and enhancing emotional regulation. Prioritizing sleep, the foundation of cognitive health. By 10 p.m., Jacob prepares for sleep by dimming lights, reading, and journaling. Quality sleep is vital for neurogenesis, memory consolidation, and toxin clearance from the brain. He aims for 7 to 9 hours of rest, recognizing that sleep is a cornerstone of mental performance. Gentle evening movement. At 7 p.m., Jacob engages in light physical activity, stretching, yoga, or a leisurely bike ride accompanied by jazz music. Such moderate exercise increases BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, supporting neuroplasticity, creativity, and mood without overexerting the body. Problem-solving journaling. Before bed, Jacob writes about a single unresolved issue he encountered during the day without seeking an immediate solution. This primes his brain to process the problem during sleep, often leading to insights upon waking. Visualizing long-term goals. Each morning, Jacob reviews a note above his desk stating his long-term objective. This practice directs his dopamine system towards delayed gratification, aligning daily efforts with overarching goals and fostering intrinsic motivation. Mental decluttering. At 9:30 p.m., Jacob performs a brain dump, jotting down all lingering thoughts, tasks, and ideas. This technique leverages the Zeigarnik effect, reducing mental clutter and promoting restful sleep. Curiosity sprints. Before afternoon work sessions, Jacob spends 5 minutes exploring a random question, such as, why do cats purr? This habit enhances cognitive flexibility and keeps his mind engaged and adaptable. Silent mornings, cultivating clarity. On select mornings, Jacob embraces silence. No conversations, messages, or calls. This quietude allows his prefrontal cortex, responsible for reasoning and decision-making, to activate without distractions, enhancing mental clarity. Teaching to learn. Each evening, Jacob articulates a concept he learned that day as if teaching it to a child. This method, known as the Feynman technique, reinforces understanding and memory retention. Acknowledging daily progress. Before sleeping, Jacob reflects on one action that advanced him towards his goals, regardless of its magnitude. This focus on progress over perfection nurtures a growth mindset and sustained motivation. Strength training, building mental fortitude. Twice weekly, Jacob engages in brief strength training sessions, focusing on compound movements. This not only enhances physical health, but also cultivates mental discipline and resilience. Morning meditation, centering the mind. Each morning, Jacob dedicates 10 minutes to meditation, focusing on his breath and observing thoughts without judgment. This practice strengthens the prefrontal cortex and reduces impulsivity, setting a calm tone for the day. Gratitude journaling, ending on a positive note. At 10:45 p.m., Jacob lists 3 things he's grateful for, ranging from significant events to simple pleasures. This habit shifts focus from what's lacking to what's abundant, improving mood and sleep quality. Power naps, midday recharge. Between 1 and 2 p.m., when energy dips, Jacob takes a 20-minute nap. This brief rest enhances memory consolidation, alertness, and emotional regulation, preparing him for the remainder of the day. Meaningful social interactions. Daily, Jacob ensures he engages in face-to-face conversations, whether it's a coffee with a friend or a walk with a colleague. Such interactions release oxytocin, reducing anxiety and strengthening cognitive functions. Morning sunlight exposure. Within 30 minutes of waking, Jacob steps outside to absorb natural sunlight. This exposure boosts serotonin levels, regulates circadian rhythms, and enhances overall brain function. If you practice any of these habits or have others that enhance cognitive performance, share them in the comments. If you found this helpful, like and subscribe for more insights. Thank you for watching.